is Randy's Corner, and I'm your host, Randy Clark. Welcome to the show this morning. I'm glad you tuned in to Daybreak this morning. And I had a special guest coming on with me this morning, but we had a little conflict in interest. Mr. Matthew McConaughey, he was understanding I was talking about PM instead of AM, so next time maybe we can get Matthew in here. What I'd like to talk to you about this morning, I got one job announcement, and I told it last week, and I'm going to repeat it again this week. The city of Sylacauga is needing a building inspector, structural. All you have to do is go down and see Miss Jay McGee or Mr. Mike Whetstone. He can tell you about what the job consists of. And Miss Jay McGee, she's the human resources person at the city hall. And sounds like a pretty good pay and a pretty good job for someone. Don't forget about pickleball on Tuesday night at the tennis courts. We play from 5 to 8. And let me tell you about some cleanups that we did this past weekend. Friday, I had a cleanup with the Beautification Council. We cleaned Norton, and a great bunch of folks come out and helped us out, and Norton looks real good now. Saturday morning, I had to clean up the Highlands. We cleaned up James Payton Boulevard. And then Sunday afternoon, we did the old Cherokee Garden Club spot right there by City Hall. And speaking of that, I'm going to honor Miss Collins, Bobby Collins and them's mom. We cleaned it up. We'll say we cleaned it up for her Saturday. And Beautification Council are doing fantastic things. And I appreciate it. Let me say a couple of hellos to some of my pickleball players. Chaka, Jerome, Rosa, Brent, Rebecca, and Jonathan. Thank you for all you do for our pickleball. We're having a fantastic time. Heritage South is dove right in there. We're having a great time. So come out and join us on Tuesday nights from 5 to 8. Now coming up, I'd like to show you a video that I think is real important. Swimming season's not over. So I went to Ashley's Academy in Chillersburg and talked to Ashley, and she's going to give us some, she's going to tell you about some swimming lessons that she gives you. She's a real busy lady, and she also is going to talk about water safety and also about CPR courses you can get her. So enjoy the video, and we'll see y'all next week. Hello, Sylacauga. I'm Randy Clark, and I'm here with Things Going On in Sylacauga Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we're here today. We're up here in Chillersburg, and I'd like to introduce you to Ashley with Ashley Swim Academy. And Ashley teaches swimming lessons, gives CPR,
lifeguarding.
Yes. Tell us all your credentials, Ashley.
So I am trained with ISR, Infant Swimming Resource, to teach babies 6 months through 6 years old survival skills. So they learn how, if they were to accidentally fall in the water, what to do.
Right.
I also have my WSI certification, which is Water Safety Instructor through the Red Cross. So I also teach stroke lessons, adult lessons, older children lessons. So pretty much anybody from 6 months old all the way up through adults, everybody.
Okay, and this is so important, you know, because I was reading a stat the other day. I mean, this might not make sense, but 80-something% of the people that drowned didn't have swimming lessons.
Yes, it is. Drowning is actually the leading cause of accidental death in children under 5.
Right.
There's a huge concern with that. Actually, 80% of people that drown fully clothed. So also, not only do I do their lessons and teach them survival skills in their swimsuits, once they are fully skilled, we also practice in their summer and winter clothes, just in case.
Okay, and you said a good ages to start is 6 months old?
That's right.
Up to 6, but you also teach anybody that don't know how to swim.
That's right.
You give lessons.
Yes, right? I think my oldest one was 84.
Really?
Yes, yes, but I teach lots of adults.
In other words, you're never too young to learn how to swim.
Nope, never too old at all.
And it's very important because I think all kids and adults should know how to swim before they go to the lake and go over to friends and go swimming.
I mean, accidents can happen anywhere in this day and age. There's so many people with pools and lakes and beach and vacation spots. I mean, unfortunately, It happens way too often.
Let's talk a little bit about CPR?
Okay, sure, absolutely. So CPR classes, so it started off, I teach lifeguarding course. And the lifeguarding course, of course, includes CPR classes. So as I've been doing this, I broke away and actually teaching just CPR some too, because it's so important for everybody to know. You never know when you are at home and a loved one may have an, an episode, or wherever you may be.
Right,
So,
it's not just around swimming.
no, absolutely not.
Those are life lessons.
Yes, and it's always good to brush up on it every few years just to make sure you are sharp on your skills.
Right. I need to brush up on mine. You don't only just teach here in Chillingsburg, do you?
I don't.
You're all over the
I
place.
am. I teach in Hoover and Vestavia and Mountain Brook. There's just not a lot of us ISR instructors. And so actually, nationwide, I was one of the top 20 ISR instructors.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. Y'all are rare.
We are. We are.
Right.
But it's, I taught regular lessons for so long, but once I started teaching the ISR program about 12 years ago, I've just seen the success rate, and I've had so many students that have accidentally fallen in and been able to roll over and float. It's,
Right. Could you explain ISR?
Yes, absolutely. So with ISR lessons, children 6 months to 1 year old, they learn in case they fall into the water how to roll over and float on their back.
Right. So important.
Yes.
So important because I hear all the time these stories about kids when they're on a pier at the lake, and
Yes.
you always got somebody who wants to push somebody in.
Yes.
Well, not everybody knows how to swim.
They don't. And, I find a lot of times, even once I teach people's children, the adults don't know how to swim. So it's important for them to know,
Yes.
or been able to help someone in the water if they were, to have an accident. And then children over a year old, they learn to swim, float, swim technique. So not only is it self-rescue, but they can also jump in off the diving board or jump in off the side and swim and float and swim across the pool. Because people say, well, I want my child to actually learn how to swim, not just self-rescue. Well, to me, self-rescue is the most important, of course.
Exactly.
But they do. That's, I have 3 children of my own, and they all swim all over the pool. And it's just, I can't imagine teaching a child how to swim across the pool but not how to float.
Right.
Because you never know when you might get into trouble and need to learn.
Exactly. I don't mean to change the subject
Yeah.
or anything, but it was on the news just here the other day about a parent trying to save their child down at the ocean, and they lost their life.
Yes, I know.
You
So
know,
tragic.
it's so sad. So
Yes.
everybody needs to know how to swim. I
Absolutely.
don't care if you like the water or not. You need to know how to swim.
Absolutely. And, I even tell my children that have siblings, what if you found your sibling in the water? Even if they could float, what would you do? You need to go and notify an adult. There's so many self-rescue and water safety skills that we need to learn, and all the community needs to learn as well.
Right. I got one more question before we go because I know you're a busy lady.
Hey,
Okay. Would you explain the importance of a flotation device, life jacket, how important it is to have one on around our lakes, and if your kid hadn't got a chance to take swimming lessons yet, and they're out around the pool, there's no shame in wearing a life jacket.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Once your child is fully skilled, of course, I recommend them being in the water with the parent and practicing their skills. But in open water, like the ocean or the lake or something like that, it is very important for them to wear a life jacket. And one thing, you want to make sure that it is Coast Guard approved, and there are different levels of life jackets and things like that. So you want to make sure that it's the right type of life jacket for the sport that you are doing.
Right.
Also, one thing that is super scary to me is you want to make sure that your child can roll over and float in their life jacket. I cannot tell you how many times that okay, bring your life jackets to lessons, let's try it out. And the kid can roll over and float without a life jacket, put that life jacket on, it's too big, they're face down in the water, they can't get to their back.
Right.
So you want to make sure it's properly fitted, it's the right type, all that kind of stuff.
Right. And I like to go to the lake just like anybody else. And I've noticed something that kind of bothered me on a lot of people's piers at their lakes. They don't have a flotation device on their pier. Shouldn't everybody, would you go into that, please?
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the safety topics I like to talk about is reach or throw, don't go. Just like if there is someone drowning, they're fighting for their life.
Yes.
And if we go in, especially being unskilled, not a lifeguard or anything like that, you try to grab onto them, they're going to try to pull you under. And so it is very important to be able to throw something out to them, reach something out to them, and pull them in versus actually going out to them and pulling them in.
Right.
If you are going to reach something out to them, it's best to get all the way down, like lay on your belly flat on that pier and reach it out there, because if you're standing up, they may pull you over into the water as well.
Yes.
So just some good things to think about. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much for this information.
Yes.
And could you please give your number?
Okay, my phone number is 334-201-0131. And my email address is a.hernandez, that's HERNANDEZ, @infantswim.com.
Okay. Now, you said the folks can go to your Facebook and sign up.
They can go to my Facebook and they'll contact me, and then we'll talk about which kind of program they need.
Okay.
So I teach the ISR lessons, but I also teach private lessons and stroke lessons. So there's a bunch of different kind depending on the age group, skill level, things like that.
We understand you're in the pool all day, so you can't answer the phone, but just leave you a text.
That's the best way to contact me.
Best way, and
Absolutely.
then after you spend your 12 hours in the pool, you try to find time to go on your phone, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Right,
right. I try to catch up on it the evenings and on the weekends. So
But thank you so much for what you do. We sure appreciate it. This is a life skill, a life lesson. Everybody needs to know how to swim.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time.